Yo, false life.
It's Jay Wandoe. You have now entered the Doe Spot. The Doe Spot is a place where we have discussions of experiences where we aim to deliver messages of empowerment. Feel welcome here as we speak a universal language of love, and as always, showing gratitude. And no other way to show gratitude than me. And I got bold, y'all. I reached out to one of the artists that y'all probably never heard of, but you will soon if you haven't already. And he goes by Gxldsoulrebel. Gxldsoulrebel is an artist, recording artist. I say artist. I'm not just gonna say rapper. Based on what I hear, he's an artist, and he just really puts his pain, puts his heart into music. And I feel like that's something I do on my platform. And right now, we're just gonna share a couple things together, and just vibe. I don't want to make it too much like an interview, but we got some things we're gonna talk about. I got some little surprises for him that he may not be ready for, but I just think I appreciate him coming on, man. So go soul, man. Tell him about yourself, brother.
Oh man, thank you, man. First of all, thanks for having me. You know what I'm saying? I feel, extremely thankful, you know what I'm saying, for sure. And yeah, man, I'm just blessed to be here. My name is Gxldsoulrebel. My real name or my regular name is Malik. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing music. I've been rapping really my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I really probably started recording actually like sophomore, junior, senior year, that type of time. But yeah, I've been as far as writing and all that, writing songs. I've been doing that forever, bro. So yeah, this has always been my thing. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I think with music, we since lullabies, we've been hearing music, right? And then I know as a kid, I would try to remix or make my own music. So that's something we're gonna get into as far as your origins, how you say, you know what, I'm gonna write this down. It's no
Okay.
longer just me writing a sentence. I'm
Mm-hmm.
now putting this bar and making it rhyme with this pattern. It's
Mm-hmm.
poetry. It's poetic. And
Mm-hmm.
so again, the way I show gratitude on here, man, I met him through the music. First, shout out to Tevin Smith, aka Develop Minds,
Facts.
and I'm pretty sure y'all gonna hear if you haven't already heard some of his beats, his production. I met Tevin in Tokyo, Japan, back in 2014, like late 2013, early 2014 in the gym. And, he wasn't even producing back then. Yeah, he was. I don't think so. At least he wasn't putting it out there. And I was like, yo, once he got started, and I've been a huge supporter of him. So Develop Minds, salute to you for putting this together without even knowing. So shout out to him. Like I said Indiana. When he told me, he was like, "Yeah, I'm from Indiana." I'm like, I knew about Gary. You know what I'm saying? I knew about Indianapolis, like the Pacers. Shout out to the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals right
Facts.
now.
Facts.
Uh, but yeah, I didn't know, especially in South Bend. That's new to me. So Goldie, man, share with the people as much as you want. As far as where you started.
Okay.
If you got any like other musical connections, I would love to hear that.
Okay.
Love
Yeah,
that for the
for
show.
sure. I'll try to, uh, give the rundown. So okay, I really,
Okay.
like I said, I've been writing. As far as just writing raps of, just making songs, I've been doing that forever. I think what really, and now that I think about it, actually, what really got me into actually wanting to rap is just first of all, just the love for music. My first favorite rappers were T.I. and Young Dro. Funny enough, I mean not
Wow.
Young Dro, but
Young
Lil
Joe.
Scrappy. Excuse me, Lil Scrappy.
Scrappy. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I used to wear the hat like T.I. to the side and all of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so, but yeah, I think I used to also like write stories and write in the journal, and I just wrote. Period. You know what I mean? So I think just the love for music, and then just always having a knack for writing already. I think that's what propelled me just naturally into like, oh yeah, let me just try this. You know what I'm saying? And I was real young. You know what I mean? So it wasn't I hadn't even thought of like putting anything out or even really knowing what an artist was as far as myself, you know what I'm saying? So I was just doing it just because it was something I love to do, you know what I'm saying? And obviously it's blossomed to, this other thing. Other than that, fast forward just to give you, the timeline, fast forward, I'm in high school, 15, probably like 16, 17, 18. I became a part of a group. I met a group in high school. My homeboys, Meech, Mike, Zay. It's a couple others too. They was a big group of us, you know what I'm saying? But basically we were called Tribe, you know what I'm saying? We were doing shows around the town and making music and actually putting it out. And we had merch. And for me, I was new. I was a newcomer in the group. They had already been formulating and doing things and kind of already had grew up together. So I'm seeing all of this stuff like as far as like them doing merch and shows and all that. That was really, really, really eye opening for me because before that, I was just kind of just a writer and just kind of doing not really doing stuff for real, you know what I'm saying? Just somebody who could rap, basically, you know what I'm saying? And this they kind of showed me like, oh no, you can actually do things and this is how you do it, you know what I mean? So and just building the whole relationship with them and making music and just that was a real that was definitely a huge part of my foundation and it still is now. Like they're still my friends. I still talk to them. We still do stuff
Respect.
together. So, that was definitely part of my foundations and but yeah, shout out to them. Tribe, you know what I'm saying? That was people I definitely started out with, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been doing this forever, man. I got memories of doing stuff forever, you know what I mean? I feel like the first time I ever
Yeah,
felt
let's hear about that. I'm prepared for that one. I need
yeah.
to hear that
I
first.
got a good
Like,
story too that I
you,
kind of shared
yeah, yeah,
every
cool.
time somebody like asks me a good if I got anything. So I was about 9 years old. I was in third grade. I lived in on the west side of South Bend. Actually, my granny lived there, and I used to just be over there all the time. So anyway, I'm over there with my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Me and him used to. He knew I rap. He was like the first person to know I rap because he used to just beatbox, and I would just freestyle, and we would just kick it all the time. You know what I'm saying? We was a little closer in age. He about 4 years older than me.
You basically sparring. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Just building
he
up your
didn't really
skill without
rap or
even
nothing
knowing.
though. Like he can
Right.
rap, and we actually have made songs, but back then he wasn't really doing it like that. He was just kind of beatboxing. I would just get it off. Anyway, like so we in this room or whatever. We in this room chilling, whatever. We listen to some music or whatever. And this it's funny enough we listening to it's like a Beyonce beat, but it's like some shit you can rap on or whatever though. I think it like some Swiss or somebody must have produced it or something type shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like 30 seconds at the end of the song or whatever, like a good amount where you could at least get something off, you know what I'm saying? I'm uh I'm freestyling whenever and mind you, like and I ain't gonna lie, I wish I remember exactly how all this like
Yeah.
went down, but I'm gonna just tell you like I'm freestyling whatever to this beat. I'm out the window at this point though. Like it's a bunch of people around the window. You know what I'm saying? And
Your,
I'm just freestyling,
your first performance.
Basically like it's low key like a little show, like no cap, like no lie at all, bro. Like and mind you, I'm not even a teenager at this point, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that was a real defining moment for me though. I was just like, oh, like even back then I was like, oh, this could be I don't know what it's gonna be, but I know I can do something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so that was just, and it's just that type of stuff like that. So yeah, I've been having this since a real youngin', man. And I've been blessed to, you know, have things kind of come together naturally for me, you know what I'm saying? And as far as the music thing. So yeah, man. Hopefully
Okay.
that answers
Well,
some of
you
your
made nah.
yeah.
That's perfect because when I do ask certain questions, even when with people I know now, it's still more that they haven't told me, like or they haven't shared with me. My mom,
Yeah.
my pops, they be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, when you were 3, you used to do this."
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Why didn't you share that with me?
Facts.
But it just maybe that just wasn't what I was supposed to know at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And as I hear, okay, music, I love music. Do you have like particular artists that?
Hmm.
Because I'm a late '80s, '90s baby, right?
Okay.
So my influence was well, not even influences, but I first heard Snoop, like early Snoop.
Yeah.
First, I wasn't supposed to be listening to Snoop,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was being played.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Dr. Dre,
For
The
sure.
Chronic, Doggy Style, Wu
For
Tang.
sure.
I can go on and on.
Yeah.
Just the early '90s, early Nas, things like that, where I still listen to them as if I'm still that kid.
Uh-huh.
I still had that love and passion for the bars. So for people that you said Tribe, I thought about Tribe Called Quest. So when I hear that, I'm like, oh yeah, because I mean, just geographically, Indiana, how
Yeah,
many artists at that time was really coming out outside of the Jacksons that we know
yeah,
that we can say like, yeah, they from there.
yes.
So who are the people that outside of Ti, outside of Scrappy that you were like, oh yeah,
Okay, yeah.
this y'all rap
So I
like?
would say like it's definitely as far as the my own skills and my own influences. I would say early on because I'm 28 years old, so I grew up in like the
Okay,
2000s. You know what I mean?
right.
So I would say like Cassidy, you know what I'm saying? He was heavy, like on the
Okay,
lyrical side. I was just like, yo, he cold, you know what I'm saying? So anytime
yeah,
I was on him
still,
heavy, facts. I was on him heavy for a minute. And I would definitely say he definitely had an influence on how I was trying to, construct my own stuff, you know what I'm saying? So him early on and Wayne too, Joel
of
Santana,
course.
um,
Yep.
earlier on, you know what I'm saying? More recently though, I would say Earl Sweatshirt, most definitely, like he's a huge influence. Currency, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The guy Fahim, I don't know if you ever heard of him,
Of course,
but
yes.
yeah, that's
Thank you,
that's
thank you.
bruh,
Somebody else.
that's my
I
guy,
literally, I
bro.
look.
That's my
Come on,
guy,
man. My
man.
God,
I listen to him so much, bro. Like, so yeah, I would
and
definitely
dumping.
say, I would say them the most probably in my comedy. Probably if I had to name one other person, but definitely them three, like probably the most as far as just my own
I love that.
style. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love
Because
that.
I'm definitely like I listen to them and I look at them, especially Earl. I look at Earl like just a
Yep.
different planet type of rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Same. I literally just bought tickets to the Wiz Khalifa show. So it's Earl, it's Currency,
Oh man.
Wiz. It's loaded.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Not to interrupt you too. I just thought of
No,
this
that's fine.
though.
Please.
But also an early era influence even before them. Pro era and Ab Soul
Okay.
and the Underachievers. The Underachievers is actually where I got my rap name from. You ever heard of the song Gold Soul Theory by the Underachievers? I don't know if you ever have,
I have to go back and check that
but
out.
yeah, it's a pretty
It's
dope
like
group, bro.
2012, 2011,
Type
2012,
like
something
yeah,
around
kind of in
that
that
age. Yeah.
realm. Yep.
Okay.
It's a pretty dope group if you ever, they from New York. So if you ever
Yeah, I
heard of
definitely know
like
Pro Era.
Flatbush
And it's
Zombies and
funny.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
they all in that
It's funny that
same
Joey is on his beef type stuff right now. You naming that. So that's perfect.
yeah, facts.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Okay.
them like Pro Era and Joey Badass and them, especially like early on, like when Pro Era and Capital Steez and all them was dropping and going crazy, that was definitely like a big, huge influence on me. And actually, on another tip, that's actually what kind of helped me get into another part of my life spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, because before that, I grew up in church and I didn't really know about a lot of stuff that they was talking about as far as like chakras and
Sure.
all that other stuff. Not to get too crazy into it, but just
No.
all the stuff
No,
they
I
was
know what
talking
you
about,
mean.
it was new for me. So that they kind of put me onto a whole nother thing with that, especially people like Ab Soul and Capital Steez and the Underachievers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had to put them in there because they were definitely a huge
No,
influence on me.
I've recorded some things and I left people's name out, like influences. I'm like, how I leave this person out? But nah, so I'm glad you got to do that.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask with when I mentioned the concert, you mentioned artists.
hmm
Like, who have you got to see live?
hmm
Like, whether you flew out to them or they came to you?
Okay.
Because I think when I met you, I told you about South by Southwest,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you had known about it or not.
Yeah.
But like, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Austin is like an hour trip,
Uh huh.
and so every year they have it. I've been missing it the past 2 years. I am going next year. That's my plan to go next year,
Hell
and I
yeah.
want you to be there next year so I
Okay.
can see you
Yeah.
perform.
I'm gonna have
But
to.
but
Yeah, we gonna have to make it happen.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to
yeah,
put
for
in
sure.
that
Like,
work.
what artists? Yeah, for sure. What artists have you seen, or artists that you was like you got to touch, basically?
Okay. I ain't gonna lie. The only well, this ain't really got nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but I met Huey
Okay,
like when I was younger. You know Huey, the dude who made
shoot that thing up.
yeah,
Not me,
yeah. So
bro. Oh yeah, I'm
I met
tapped
him
in.
way when I was way young. You know what I'm saying? I was probably like 12, bro. We got a picture. My mom got the picture somewhere. He was like
Wow,
just he was in
sure.
town, got me a picture because he knew I fuck with the music and all that. But anyway, besides that, I went to a Rock Marciano show. That's kind of like the only
That's
real show I've been to as far as like another artist, like a big artist live. You know what I'm saying? But it was in Chicago. It was probably about
okay.
2 years ago, I want to say.
Ooh,
Yeah, I went with a few of my
wow.
friends.
Now that's a good. Mm.
Bro, it was
I'm a
incredible,
heavy
bro.
heavy rock fan,
It
bro.
was
Heavy
incredible.
heavy salute to Rock Marciano.
And Bodie James was there. You know what I'm saying? Bodie James had opened up for him, bro. It was
I'm jealous.
Oh my God, it was incredible, bro. I couldn't believe
I'm
it.
sure. I'm sure.
And I got somehow I got up to the front, so I got good vision,
Good
you know what
footage.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, bro.
Yeah.
We was all just like, yo, like they going crazy, bro. It was amazing. And bro, Rock, he absolutely bodied his set, bro. The nigga had the
I'm
hitty
sure.
out on the stage and shit. He's sipping. I'm like, bro,
He's so fly,
it's a
bro.
real
Like I know
nigga,
Fly
bro.
God. I know Westside is the fly guy, but Marciano is really like Richard Gere with
Truly,
the
yeah,
gears. Like
truly, yeah. Facts, bro.
he's a
He just got it down. Like it's in him for real. You can tell. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And he's been around since like I first heard him on the Heist on the Buster joint, and I'm still a big Buster fan. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
tourist,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one thing I wanted to mention to you. Your album, your recent one, dropped on my birthday.
Okay, that's fire.
So
That's
yeah,
fire.
my birthday's May 1st. So when I seen that, I'm like, there's no way I'm not gonna reach out to this man.
That's fire,
Like
bro.
he did this for me. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fire.
So
Hell yeah, bro.
and you put 6 tracks on there. That's my favorite number.
Ah, yeah, bro.
The Wandoe, six letters. I don't know what it is, but we here.
And
You know
you
what I'm
know
saying?
what's
So
crazy? On a little side note,
yep.
my birthday is May
Uh-huh.
6th.
Wow. So come on,
Yeah.
man. Hey, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's I don't, we're gonna move
Yeah,
on because
facts.
we already know what's going on.
Right.
I did want to I talk about the interaction. Yeah, gifts, man. Like this is a gift. Rapping is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking is a gift. Engaging with people. So whenever you do get into those moments when you're having to engage, what are you feeling like is drawing people to you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talked about being spiritual. Like, what is it about you that sets you apart from other people?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think honestly, I think it is the spiritualness or the at least the relatableness. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Mm-hmm.
talk about this a lot of times, just like with friends or just other artists that I kick it with and stuff like that. Like the drill and the trap and all of that. That's fine. I'm not knocking it or nothing, but it's not really relatable to everyday people. You know what I'm saying? And most of us ain't sliding on no ups and like running up no like running off on no plugs. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas is working. We trying to have like a good time on a sunny day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we trying to
For
live
sure.
life. So I feel like just having more positive lyrics, more real lyrics, more something that you can hear and be like, oh shit, like okay, you know what I'm saying? Like that was actually something I felt, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what really goes a really long way, you know what I'm saying? As far as people really supporting and wanting to listen and all of that. And then, on top of that, just as far as my, the interactions, like I'm truly grateful, you know what I'm saying? Like for anybody that does,
So
that leaves any comments, shares anything, does any type of anything, bro. So
yeah.
whenever they do that, I try to, show my appreciation and reach out or just even if it's just saying thank you and just letting them know like directly, like, yo,
Not
thank you for doing that. Cause you didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
you'd have to. That goes a
I
long way.
think, yeah, I think when people see that, it grows naturally into, an ongoing thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something
Yeah.
I'm incredibly grateful for. You know what I'm saying? So,
I
yeah, bro.
appreciate that. I just on May 3rd, and happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you, bro.
On May 3rd, I
Likewise.
went to see Mike. Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah,
I went to go see Mike live. He came here,
that's fire.
and Mike is the patterns, and he to be a big dude. He ain't had no jewelry. He had a little chain, but he
Yeah.
in a white tee.
Yeah.
Just came out there. He got in the crowd, walked through the crowd. He performed like an hour and a half. I'm like, yeah, like I need more of that.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
especially as I'm a older guy, and I went with another older guy, but we just love music, and I
Yeah.
don't think that changes.
Yeah.
I think with it's still Ozzy Brothers and artists like that. They're still performing.
Facts.
They still got fans.
Facts.
And I feel like you were saying, the drill stuff it fizzles out. I'm not in the club like I used to be
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, 15 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, and I'm not going back.
Facts.
A Rock Marciano show, a Bodie James show, a Currency show. I'm going back. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? As long as they perform it, I'm there. So I feel like it's that lasting power.
Facts.
You spoke about spiritual. Ways of the World was the first track I heard of yours. Tell me how that came about, and then produced by Develop Minds,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
how did that come about with you two getting together?
And I'm trying to remember what exactly I think I just had been following him on Instagram for a while once I figured out that he had been produced. I'm like, oh, this is Tevin, like This develop,
Yeah.
Oh, I actually, you know what it was? Excuse me. I actually remember what exactly it was. So when I was in Tribe, when we was actively making music, one of my homeboys reached out to him and we made a song on one of his beats. It's called like I can't even remember the name of it. It's such a long time ago. But if it comes to me, I'll let you know later. But basically,
All
so
good.
that's where it started from. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So then fast forward, I've just been following more recently. I've been following him on IG. Just supporting.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
just and then fast forward, he ended up sending me a pack of like I want to say about 2 or 3 beats, and Ways of the World was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And I was just
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah, I'm listening to him. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm absolutely like as soon as I heard it, I'm like, yeah, writing. You know what I mean? So and just as far as the song itself, I'll just kind of be like writing from a place of like my perspective at the time or in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Or just my state of mind and energy. And just ways of the world is they just not for me. A lot of this
They
societal
die for me. I'm
stuff
reminded of that
is,
constantly.
you
That's
know,
like the first bar. Like you hear that, and I'm like, yes, I'm with you.
yeah, exactly. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a lot of this stuff is not for really none of us. You know what I'm saying? Quiet as kept, so just coming from that perspective, you know what I'm saying, in my own personal experience. And, I feel like that's also just going back to what we were saying before. I feel like people can relate to that type of thing. Like, oh, yeah, these things out here, certain they might not, we might engage in different things or agree on what to engage in and what not to engage in, but that the general idea is that they can agree on that. You know what I'm saying? As far as that, you know what I mean. So I think that's where it really comes from. Just kind of having that re- reflective and observation type of look, like perspective, like man, a step back type of perspective. Like a lot of this stuff is not what it seems. That's really the
That's
message
not,
of
yeah.
it. Yeah. So
I get that. I talked to you earlier. Like, I just got this sign, and I understand it's offset, but like that's where I'm at too. Like, I wish I was still, in the military, traveling the world like I used to. Uh, I've done a lot. I say that. I've been in several countries, things like that over my lifetime. But being married, having kids, it's not that I'm comfortable with that. I just understand I can't do so much outside of that
yeah,
anymore because I'm my focus is raising my kids. My
yeah,
focus is being a good husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to know that if I follow the ways of the world, if I follow certain things, I'm going to go back into it. It's just
mm-hmm,
natural. That's just
mm-hmm,
what you're going to do.
mm-hmm.
So if I continue to listen to me, reaching out, when you said like this conversation was from a DM, I was just showing love, and you were
Facts,
like, yeah, I'm showing love back. Then I just say, you know what? Well, I got your attention. Hey, are you available?
facts.
With this was no, it wasn't even that long ago.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
everything just happens in the universe the way it's supposed to. And I
Absolutely.
definitely, to this point, man, I just appreciate your music. With that appreciation, I want to name a few tracks,
Okay,
just so if people don't know you,
appreciate it.
and you can kind of give me like what you feel about that. Like
Okay.
on Fake Gems, you said rarely talk, but yet I say too much.
Mm-hmm.
So is that more so like, you know, like I feel like for me, I try not to say too much, but I know when I say something, I want it to stick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
talk about that.
It be like it's that. So that line is like, first of all, just from being an introvert, you know what I'm saying? Just being a quiet person. I've been a quiet person my whole life, you know what I'm saying? Really, it really came from a spiritual kind of like take, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, when you say certain things, they can be taken as polarizing when people don't agree, especially when it's like not a majority uh, view, you know what I'm saying? So even that little bit of thing of what you said can just set people off, and it's like they want to make it a whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
why I don't even I speak about it in my music, but on a day to day, I only speak about it with certain people, and even with them, it's we only speak about it so much because it's really nothing to too much talk about. It's just it's a doing thing, but you know, yeah, that's where it really comes from. It's just like the knowing the reaction that it gets from people, from the masses of people, you know what I'm saying? And just being like, okay, you know, let me just do my own thing instead of trying to, convince them or keep talking to them and getting the backlash or getting just the whatever reaction that the resistance basically, you know what I'm saying? So that's where that came from. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think people are just gonna take what I can say today, right now. I love something. I love dunks. So I got shoes. I'm trying to get rid of these shoes.
Yeah.
I love dunks, and it's like, well, you don't like Jordans, or does that mean you don't like any other shoe? Like,
Exactly.
no,
Right.
I just love dunks.
Facts.
Or you what? And somebody knew me from high school. Like, well, you never wore dunks in high school. Well, I do now. So, so that's like you can't win.
Literally,
So whether
bro.
you say too much, I mean, I'm on the podcast. I'm the same way. I know the zodiac thing ain't always true, but I do feel like it has something to do with how people operate
Definitely,
sometimes.
definitely.
So when it comes to this is something that's not getting a lot of numbers. I get a few views. I get those people that I almost feel like I'm supporting you because I know you. It's not that it's not good. It's just maybe they like clips. A lot of people just scrolling through their phone. They don't have time to sit through a 20-minute, 30-minute
Yeah,
podcast,
that's
and I
fact.
understand that.
That's
But it's
fact.
not for that. This is for later. This is like a time capsule for me. So, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm getting to know people. I'm pulling people together, and eventually, when it needs to happen, I'll be doing all this stuff right here. It's gonna not be in my house. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be able to showcase everything I
That's a
need to
fact.
do, and know that other people came along. So it's not like not my glory. It's just more so like this is my story.
Yeah,
I ain't mean for that
absolutely.
to rhyme, but it
Absolutely.
rhymed.
I completely
One
understand.
more, man. Recently, it's the view. Tying the string, I was caught in the loop. I had to dig deep. I had to start from the root. I love my folks, but I'm the one that taught me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely felt that when somebody asked me not too long ago where you get your resilience from and influence. I'm like, I really didn't have any good role models.
Mm-hmm.
So like for you, like did you grow up, having parents and like you talked about your uncle,
Mm-hmm.
like do you have other people like, stay on this path because, this is gonna get you far, or was it just kind of like I gotta learn this on my own?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of both. I would say like on the spiritual end, it was definitely just me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
I grew up in church. You know what I'm saying? And most of my family is Christians, and more or less got a Christian view. You know what I'm saying? Even if
Same.
everybody don't active church, maybe some people more religious
Yeah.
than others. Blah blah blah. But yeah, so most of them had that view. So when I would like, and when I was about 17 or 18, that's when I started having like these questions and just getting kind of starting to get away a little bit from the Christianity and thinking about, well, what about this other stuff? And I'm having questions even about Christianity that nobody can really answer, that, like my family included. So I would go to them and I'd be like, well, what about this? And just looking at them, and not to down anybody in my family or anybody in general, but I just felt like at a certain point that, you know, nobody was truly following it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how can I
Mm-hmm.
call myself a Christian if I'm not really doing what a Christian does? You know what I mean? So yeah, so once like they was like not able to really do that for me, I started really kind of just getting more into stuff myself, and I would credit a lot of the music I was listening to, like how we was saying earlier, to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they had introduced me to chakras and things like third eye, pineal gland. I had no knowledge of none of this. You know what I'm saying? Even if I did, I would have just thought it was some like evil witchcraft,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm hearing it in a lyrical, in a way that the way they present it is attractive to me, and I'm curious at the least. So I'm like, man, what is all of this? You know what I mean? So eventually, I got curious enough to where I started searching it on my own. You know what I mean? And that's where the journey started. You know what I'm saying? It was like just completely down the rabbit hole from there. You know what I mean? And even now, it's still like a personal thing where I can't really get too many answers from too many people I know, and I'm not even looking for it at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's just I got to understand it now, just how it really goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was just that's what that line stemmed from. Though, is just like not really being able to get the pristine truth from the people that I loved, and that I thought would be able to. And this is not to down them, because we all at a level, at certain levels, and we all in a certain place in our journey. You know what I'm saying? And they love me, and they help me, incredibly, even with all of that. So it's not nothing to salt them. Just being real about my journey and where it's all at. You know what I'm saying?
I completely relate. I completely understand.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
nobody. It's not only so many people. Even my wife sometimes she like, I see you got your podcast and all this stuff going, but you be into it. You get into that stuff,
yeah,
and I'm like, I'm not. It's not that I'm trying to. It's
yeah,
just it's more. I'm being more curious about my own voice. Like
yeah,
I know how I sound to people now, but before I
absolutely.
was just talking. I was just giving, like I said, I was in the military, so I was just giving commands. I was
Yeah.
just taking commands. Now I don't have to do that. I can control how long, my pace or
Hmm.
how long something's gonna go. When I talk about hooping, I want the ball. Like
Yeah,
I don't have to shoot, but I want to kind of control the floor. I'm
yeah,
the floor general. Magic Johnson's my favorite player,
yeah.
even though MJ's my goat. Magic's my favorite, and then Chris Paul is another guy. Shout out
Facts.
to CP3,
Facts. Shout out
who's
CP3.
probably gonna leave San Antonio soon, but that makes sense. He did
Shit.
his time, and he's probably gonna get up out of here.
Facts.
But
Facts.
that's how I operate anyway. So I get exactly what you're saying, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. So that's definitely where that came from, man. Just going through that little experience, even with friends, you know what I mean, trying to,
Yeah,
kind of present stuff to them and just bounce ideas off of them. They like, nigga, what? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
this ain't what we own. Get some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do this. Like, and so yeah, just that whole little thing. I know you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's where that came from for sure.
Word, man. I appreciate you sharing, and for the audience,
Yeah,
I want to just bring up a couple of my favorite tracks.
absolutely.
See It Through, New Man, Portal. We
Okay.
go back a little bit for that one. Talk
Okay.
about Skillet, and again, Jay Wandoe. You got a song called Waldo. I just
Okay.
found that a couple of weeks ago, and between the beat and, like I said, the connection there. And I don't know if I shared it, but like
Yeah.
my first name Jawan, so I
Okay.
took the J, Jawan, and split it, and Wando came from Waldo,
Okay. That's dope.
the character that goes around the world,
Yeah.
and everybody's. I mean, people probably still think I'm in England, or they still think I'm in the military. I'm like, nah, I've been out. You can't do this in the military. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been out for a while, but I still feel like I'm not lost, but I'm still kind of like hiding. I'm
Yeah.
still like not quite
I'm in the
there.
cut. Yeah. I'm in the cut with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people see you. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. Facts.
how when you do like choose playlists and certain songs and when you ready to put it out, because I think about this when I'm uploading. I'm like, okay, let me get my music. Let me make
Yeah.
sure I put my label on there. What about? Excuse me. How do you go about that process? And that'd be one of my one of our last closing
Yeah. So you mean just like as far
questions.
as like song titles and stuff like that?
Yeah, song titles, or just like when you say I'm done with this song, I've written my 16 or
Uh
whatever,
huh.
I'm good with it.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like as far as the finishing the song, I feel like once I've like I can't think of any more as far as like it needing to be done. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so what I usually do is usually write the verse first, you know what I'm saying? And it
First,
kind of just
okay.
builds from there, you know what I'm saying? But it just depends. Sometimes it'll go different, but that's more often than not, that's how it goes, you know what I'm saying? For me. But also just and also as far as the song title and man, honestly, like it be sometimes I'd be winging it, like you know what I'm saying, like. But
Yeah,
I will say it's like definitely like with projects and all of that, like it definitely is meaning, and I do choose those based on like a certain thing, you know what I'm saying. So like especially like with hypnosis and stuff like that, like with Portal, you know what I'm saying. For example, like
yeah.
the hook is
Love Portal.
Let It In, you know what I'm saying, and a portal is something that you come in and out of, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
also low key, people don't really might not even notice, but it's saying let it in, like as in inside, but it also is saying let it in as in END, like let it be done. You know what I mean? So you're coming out of something.
I caught that.
You okay? Yes,
I
okay.
caught
So
it.
the real
Yeah,
people, they caught it. They knew what I was doing. Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, that would be an example of like,
I don't care. I tear up because and then you got the visuals. So
yeah,
y'all go check out the Portal video, because I'm thinking, like you said, landing in, you get to it's a release,
yes,
but you also, just like with this sweater,
yeah,
inner peace, outer glow. You
facts,
gotta have both, man.
facts,
You can't just like act like you're all cheery, but
facts.
inside you dying. You know what
It's
I'm
a
saying?
balance. It's
You
the
got
yin
things
yang. You
you
know what
holding
I'm
on to.
saying?
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
So yeah, that would be an example of like definitely me having a thought process behind the title, like, oh yeah, this hook and this message behind this song has this connection. So I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna call it Photo. And that's pretty much how it goes, more or less with every song. It's like, okay, what am I saying? You know what I'm saying? And what's the message? And I kind of try to link it like the view on the view, you know what I'm saying? I say the view in the verse naturally like 3 or 4 times, and that didn't even happen really on purpose. That just really literally how it came about. And then, the hook, that was more like intentional, you know what I'm saying? Because once I had the verse, I'm like, okay, that view, just that whole perspective, and literally the word just kind of came out of itself, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, this song is about perspective and, your experience of the truth, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say, uh, I ain't got no answers for you. This is just a view. This is just my view. You know what I'm saying? So this is my view of the truth. I am presenting it as a truth, but I'm not presenting it as the truth as far as
Like the
everybody.
gospel, like
Yeah,
you gotta
like,
stick with it.
I'm not
This is
saying you
my
need
truth.
to follow what I'm doing and declare, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what I'm presenting. And if you feel it, you know what I'm saying? You feel it. And if, you can do what you will with it, basically. And that, so there, I kind of link my titles and do stuff in that way, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, man. And I just hope that this kind of interaction was something that you let me in. You let me into your world. You got into my little space.
Yeah,
That's what the Doe
absolutely.
Spot is all about. This is the
Absolutely.
spot where people I feel like can come be comfortable. I pride myself on listening. I pride myself on auditorial skills, or I may not, like I said, I may not have certain things that other pods may present, but I'm doing this virtually. Like I said, just organic conversations. I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. But I'm trying to make sure, like I said, balance, keep myself centered more so, because
Absolutely.
I understand that it's going to be some things that I'm not going to get right away. But if I can link with the artist and kind of hear where he is, I'm gonna hear your music differently now. It's no choice. And I'm pretty sure, I hope some of this will bring some light to whatever you
No,
got going on in the
most
future.
definitely. Most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely, bro.
So do you have? I know you just dropped the tape on the 1st
Uh-huh.
of May. Do you have something in the tuck or something you're
Oh,
working on going forward?
bro, I'm about to drop so
Yeah,
much this
bring
year.
it.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, I've been blessed enough to like get a lot of beats from different producers and just have relationships with them, especially more recently. So I just been getting a lot of packs from people, you know what I mean? And I'm like, usually I'd be like kind of chilling, like not in a super rush. And I'm not in a rush now, but it's like I want to take advantage of the time and also show the appreciation of them even doing that. So I'm
Yeah.
about to flood the streets, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to, I'm working on some stuff right now with a couple different people. So I don't have an actual like release date or nothing for nothing right now, but I can for sure 100% tell you it's a lot more music and a lot more things period coming this year for sure. Absolutely.
Shout out to all your producers. Shout out to Sin. Sin
Man,
is
huge shout out to Sin.
he.
That's my dog. That's my
I
dog.
don't know what other producers. I mean, I love V Don. I love Alchemist. I
Yeah.
love sir other Derringer. Nicholas Craven just did Guy Fahim's recent mixtape.
Facts, bro.
I don't
I
know if you
love
heard that
Nick,
yet,
bro.
but yeah,
Love Nick.
yeah. So it's a lot of art, a lot of producers out there, and I'm talking producers. I know people make beats, but I mean just producers. You can tell like they really put time into their
Mm-hmm.
craft, the samples, the loops, and it really, you know, if I had that mind and that time to do beats, I know I would make some fire. But that's just it's not something in me right now,
Yeah.
or at this point in life. But I definitely just a fan of things, and man, I'm a fan of you and what you do, what you have brought forth from Indiana, man.
Yeah.
Like you putting on from a whole state right
Yeah.
now.
Facts. Thank you, man. I want to say, man, I truly appreciate it, bro. Like this shit, excuse me, this means a lot to me, bro. Like you ain't
Yeah,
have
it's all
to
good.
reach out or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Have to do anything. So I truly appreciate it, man. I look forward to just keeping the connection going, and you know
For
what I'm
sure,
saying.
man.
I
Same.
definitely got a lot more stuff to drop and get into, man. So, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to Tevin again. You know what I'm saying. Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
you, definitely,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. And thank you to anybody who tunes in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm on a blessed journey. You know what I'm saying? I can say that in full confidence. I'm just super grateful. You know what I mean? And I just want to keep growing and keep dropping this stuff, man, while I can, you know what I mean, while I'm here. So I'm definitely gonna be
Hey,
doing that, you know what I mean? So thank you again, bro.
it's
Appreciate it.
yeah, yeah. You're so welcome, and it's for you. It's gonna happen. You already doing it. It's just a matter of the masses hearing it. I
Yeah.
heard it. Like I said, my man used to be like, I'm connected with the connected.
Yeah.
I know people that know people,
Yeah.
so it's just gonna just be a matter of getting things rolling. This gonna be some history right here. We're gonna loop back around to this one day and be
That
like, well, we
absolutely.
came a long way. I feel it
Absolutely. See,
for sure,
now you
man.
put it in the air. Now look, it's about to come full
It's
circle. It's
it's
making its
gotta
way.
happen.
It's making its
Thank
way.
you for that, man. I receive it. I receive it. Hey, y'all, those tuning in, whenever you see this, uh, I got Gxldsoulrebel here with me. It's Jay Wandoe. You are at the Doe Spot. And thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the podcast. To the podcast. I don't think I ever asked anybody to do that, but I just read somewhere my guy was like, "You got to tell people what you want.
Yeah,
I want you to
absolutely.
like this. I want you to subscribe. I want you to go check out his old stuff. I want you to critique. I want the feedback. I want you to tell me if I'm
Absolutely.
talking too fast, or because that's only gonna help. Right
Absolutely.
now, I'm just putting stuff out. So if I get that critique, I'm not gonna take it no way. If you come
Absolutely.
out with some disrespect, I'll laugh at you, but I'm not gonna get upset and start flagging and
Yeah, yeah,
reporting.
get out
But
my own body type shit. Yeah. Man,
whatever, yeah. So yeah,
shout out to
you
the
got something
Doe
else before we
Spot,
go?
man.
For
I just want to
sure.
give you a shout out. Shout out to your podcast, the Doe Spot. Thanks for having me. And yeah, to anybody watching, man, yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. If you're doing something good, you know what I'm saying? Keep
For sure.
learning, keep
Thank you for
growing.
positivity, man.
Facts, man. Let's do what you gotta do so when it's time to go, you ain't gotta look back on nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm working on. I'm putting my heart out here so by the time I'm gone, I did it. You know what I'm saying? I
Did it
left it all on the line. You feel me? So
right.
yeah, just everybody keep shining, keep being yourself, man. Keep loving yourself, man. Keep thinking for yourself, keep questioning everything. Always. That's my message if I had any type of message or anything, question everything. That's my
Question everything,
absolute.
even if yeah, even when I'm saying this to you,
Even if I'm
that's
even question why I'm saying
while
that.
I'm saying this to you. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's one of the bars.
Exactly.
Y'all got to catch up. If
Exactly.
y'all ain't caught up, never heard of this man, like please
Yeah, so
give it some time.
that's my absolute message right there, if nothing else, for sure, man. And just to thank you and thank the people for showing any type of love and support, because it truly does mean the world, man. It really does. It helps to keep going, especially when times is hard and you
Hmm.
got second thoughts about shit. Then you remember things
Yeah.
like this, and it's like, oh no, like you're doing something. You know what I mean?
Wow,
So
you impacted me, brother.
yeah, so
Definitely every word you said so far. Like gratitude. That's all
man,
I got. That's all I'm here for.
true, bro. That means a lot, bro, because that's what I do it for, man. That's all I really want, more than a dollar, more than a whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a positive impact. You know what I mean? So that really means a lot, bro. For real. Thank you.
And more to come, man. Y'all just stay tuned. We got more on the way with more music and more content. Hey, love, peace, and love to y'all. It's a Dope Spot. Go Soul Rebel,
Yo, yo,
and
yo,
we out.
yo. False life, defamation of the truth as I regard. Reflection was recreation in my youth. In due time, find the best place to say it is the booth. I'm out the way, you moving circles when you stand in the loop. Whatever you trying to do, imagination is the glue. Question everything, even while I'm saying that to you. On my own notions, see it all in slow motion. The paid vultures.